What's up, guys? I'm John, and, well, Cherry's not feeling good. So this weekend we're at Trap Pond State Park in Delaware. It's a nice little park. I don't remember how many acres it is. I'll show you a little shot of the map here of the park itself, and then you have the campground section, which is sort of off by itself. Everything's kind of connected though. But anyway, it's actually, the weather's pretty nice. It's like 58 degrees right now during the day. Last night it dropped down to 35-ish, so not horrible. We have one electric space heater, like one of the small ceramic heaters. It does a really good job. I mean, if it gets down into, closer to 20, who knows? Might need to have something supplement. But since I ripped the furnace out of here, I kind of don't trust the 46-year-old propane system, the tubing and stuff. So, but yeah, I like this little park. This is our second time here, and it's only a half hour from our house. It's funny, we've lived down here in this region, the Delmarva Peninsula, for about 22 years, and I never realized this park was that close, or that it had camping, quite honestly, until about 2 years ago. We decided on the whim a few weeks ago to come camp here with Anna. The boys had their own camp somewhere else, and it was really nice. Anyway, since Cherry's under the weather, let's take a walk and dump the trash, and I'll kind of show you guys around the campground a little bit. Here's the lake, pond, I don't know, they call it a pond. Looks more like a small lake to me. About 50 yards from our campsite. We're at the end of Loop C. This is the second time in the same spot. And I picked this spot, A, because I love the view of the pond from where we are. And I really think, well, it was easier for me to back into because I'd already done it once. I learned how to pivot around that one particular tree. But yeah, it's really beautiful out here. The sites here are really nice. They're wider than normal. I mean, look, here's our site, and we're pretty tight up against the power pedestal on the other side of the rig. And there's the pedestal for the other one. I could probably, if these trees weren't here, fit my truck and my 21-foot trailer from their slide out all the way to this pedestal. It's amazing. It's funny. I stopped to talk to a couple people on the way through, and that's one of the things I like about most campgrounds. People are friendly. They don't mind chatting for a little bit. They look at you a little strange when you're talking to a camera by yourself, but it's all good. Alright. Can't miss these dumpsters, man. They want to make real sure you don't miss them. Yeah, so this is the main loop that takes you to let's see, I think I'm wrong. That's D, C loop, B loop, and A loop. Yeah, so it goes from that end, A, B, C, D, from your right to left. Yeah, let's walk around a little bit. Huh. And this is all spare parking for either visitors or if you have more than one vehicle at your site. All these sites, you're only allowed one vehicle at a time, so if you have two while you're traveling, the other one can go down here. And I mean, it's a really short walk. It's not like it's really any big inconvenience. So yeah, this is a great little park. There's disc golf. I don't know why I thought of that first. I don't play. Hiking, There's a playground for the kids. There's pavilions in the all, scattered throughout the park that you can, I think you have to rent them, or at least have to sign up ahead of time and reserve them. Climate controlled bathhouses. Each RV site, from what I can tell, has a 30 amp and a 50 amp hookup together, so you can do either one, plus regular 110 outlets, and water hookup but no sewer. I don't think there are any full hookup sites here, which is fine. I probably wouldn't stay more than a week or two here at a time, and it's nothing to either pull my little rig up and dump or get one of those little dollies, which I don't have. Yeah, there's lots of people hiking around here, walking the trails. It's quiet though. I mean, first week of December, I guess not a ton of people are clamoring to get out camping here on the East Coast. And honestly, now we're just a half hour south of here in Maryland, and almost every campground, state park, campground, and regular private campground close in December, so who knows. Yeah, you can I think rent kayaks and canoes during the season here, during the regular spring, summer, fall season. Bring your own. The only downfall that I can see if you were camping here in the summertime would be there's no swimming. There's no pool, you can't swim in the pond. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn about that. I do like having something for the kids to do. Now we're in A Loop right now. And in the wintertime, as of December 1st, they closed down A Loop and D Loop, the two outer loops, and kind of narrow everybody down to B and C loops. I guess it's easier to maintain and keep track of everything for the ranger or whoever enforces the rules here. There is a full-time camp host from what I can tell. But yeah, I mean, even these sites over here, they're not as deep. I could probably do fine with my rig over here. I think the middle loops seem to be have the bigger campsites, but none of them are hateful. They're really nice and spread out. Sorry for the shaky hand. I don't have a gimbal for the cell phone, and I didn't want to try the Osmo today. I just got a DJI Osmo Pocket, and I'll experiment with that more, hopefully in the next video. Yeah, I think this is where the trail picks up, somewhere here. I know it takes you around by the boat ramp. There's a road that comes through the park, basically, like skirts the park right here. And you can see where those people are walking on the left side of the screen there. And basically it circles around the pond, and then there's the regular park entrance where, it would be like sunrise to sunset on the other side of the pond there. And there's a nature trail that kind of follows the road from this point somewhere in here. I don't see any signs for it, but maybe you got to go out on the road to pick it up. Oh, there's a heron. There he goes. I didn't even know he was there. I wouldn't have messed with him. And you can see the bridge over there. It comes across that end of the pond. It's a nice little park. Clean. We haven't had any trouble, even the last time we were here when the park was fairly crowded 3 weeks ago. We didn't have any trouble with people being too rowdy, staying up super late. Now, it wasn't summer, Generally summer and early fall is when that becomes an issue, but yeah, I like it. It's peaceful. It's not too far outside of civilization, but far enough that it's quiet. You don't feel bothered out here. Evidently, this place is also famous for their, they have a standing grove of bald cypress, which I guess is a big deal for this part of the mid-Atlantic region. I think that's one right there, right in the center of the frame. I'm assuming it looks like some kind of cypress with that fat trunk, you know, base and everything, and the fact that it's all the way in the water. So from what I can tell, there are 4 main Delaware state parks. I don't even remember the name of the 4th one right now, but I know down in this region south of Dover, Delaware, you've got this Trap Pond. North of here is Killen's Pond State Park, and then out at the coast you have Cape Henlopen. And Cape Henlopen's kind of cool in the summer and maybe early fall. I mean, it's good all year, but it's good in those times because you have the beach, you have the oceanside, you're on a cape. So you have the oceanside beaches, and then you have the bay side where it's calm. A little nicer for the kids to play sometimes, the little ones, if they don't like the crashing waves and stuff. And there's some historical stuff at Cape Henlopen too. I like Trap Pond just for the quiet, the woods. You know, there's a decent amount of wildlife around here. I mean, you saw the heron. In fact, last night I went to get something out of the truck. I stepped out of the camper and took 2 steps and spooked a deer standing in the middle of my sight. I think he scared me more than I scared him. Yep, there's the playground. There's kids playing over there, so I'm not gonna get in close and focus. People get a little freaked out when you do that. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want my kids on camera without my permission or knowledge either. Yeah, I guess all around the pond here there's all kinds of swamp areas and stuff, and it's really nice. There's some volunteer groups that come in and will plant these small trees that are native anyway to this area, and it kind of helps replenish a little bit. And sometimes they'll, when they're really young saplings, they'll put a little cage around them, and some of them even have signs on them that explains what kind of tree it is, and you know, the fact that it's native to this area. They're not going to plant non-native trees. I think a lot of the state parks in Delaware and Maryland, they try to discourage non-native plants from growing, so they either call them out, cut them, and try to plant something else that would be native in its place. Some plants around here, like butterfly bush, can be considered an invasive plant. On the eastern shore of Maryland, they consider them an invasive plant, and I think in Delaware you're not even supposed to buy them and plant them. Let's see. Redbud. That's pretty cool. I know down here on the shore, a lot of Girl and Boy Scout, different scout troops, persimmon, will come do projects like this. Especially Eagle Scout projects. They'll go plant a bunch of native trees and set them up. Black gum. Yeah, we have a lot of gum trees down here, and they're great for wildlife. I guess that's part of their food chain for some animals. I know one thing. The place is lousy with squirrels. They have been crazy. Dig for food for a little while and then play and chase and run. Scarlet oak. Very cool. It's nice. You can bring the kids out, learn a little bit about the local foliage. And our 12-year-old, when we were here 3 weeks ago, she and Cherry came over to the dock here, and it's a floating dock, and she says, I don't know, that dock's a little sketchy. It's a floating dock. It is weird. This plastic feels a little weathered under my feet. Not sure how long it lasts before it starts splitting. Hopefully I don't go over, because I'm shooting with my phone and it's the only one I've got. So, oh man, this is fantastic. Oh, here's a pair of ducks. Nice. Yeah, this would be a cool little fishing spot. Now you do have to have a Delaware fishing license, and you have to have the appropriate license. Now, I think this is Cedar Water. I don't think there's anything tidal about this one, but usually wherever I go, I'll usually get the saltwater Bay Sport. Like in Maryland, it's Bay Sport or freshwater, I think. Those are the two licenses, and they cover you pretty much anywhere. So that way you don't have to say, okay, well, this one's legal, this one's not. That way I just cover all the bases. They're not really that expensive. Yeah, it's not super sketchy. Yep, got these little benches placed all around the edge of the pond. Lake, pond, whatever. Funny, even though it's not crowded this weekend, there's still more campers than I thought would be here this weekend. So this must be part of the nature trail. It goes around the pond into the other part of the park. And you can just barely see our rig through the trees right there at the center with the handicap blue stripe. And before anybody gets all knotted up about me calling it handicap blue, that's what it's called. It's the paint you would use to mark the handicap ADA spots in a parking lot. So that is the name of it. Now let's go look at the bathhouses. Coming around the end of C Loop now, which is where we are. There's a cool little teardrop. I don't know. I could probably handle a teardrop if it was just me and Cherry, but I like to be able to stand up inside when the weather's bad and stuff like that. Maybe. Would love to see inside of that though. Maybe I'll ask them when they come back. Alright, there's the bathhouse on our loop. Firearms restricted in designated areas. Must be able to hunt around here. Although, I think there's a pretty decent carry law around here. Concealed carry. Yeah, so there's a general map of the state park. It's not huge, but it's a nice spot. Nice open area. So let's see. We are here. So this is the campground where we are right here. And we were out on this little pier here, I believe. I don't think there's one here anymore. Anyway, Bald Cypress Nature Center is directly across from us. But you can see all the trails around here. That's pretty cool. They have cabins here, tent sites, walk-in tent sites. Like I said, the bathhouse is totally climate controlled. I don't think it's air conditioned, but like in the summer they got really good ventilation. You know, big chicken house fans up where those louvers and stuff are to draw the heat out. And they do have a heater. So, yeah. It's funny, we got in, I don't know, it was around 8 o'clock last night. It was dark, but it wasn't late. And the camp office was closed. I had to keep looking at my clock thinking, wait a minute. Evidently, once December hits and they're in their official winter season, the park office closes early. So you do self-check-in, and then the next morning you come up to the office. Well, you know, day off for me. I'm not getting up early to go check in. I came out my door. I guess I stayed in the camper till, gosh, it was close to 11 o'clock before I even poked my head out. And there was a note taped to the arm of the awning. It said, fellow camper, please go check in at the camp office. Like, yeah, I know, I get it. And I guess it's better than them rapping on my door at 8 o'clock in the morning. This is where the dumpsters are over there. I just came out the end of, technically that's the outside of C Loop, but nothing's marked one way. But that's where I just walked out of. Right out to the little entrance here. There's the camp store and the bike rental shed. That's kind of cool. And when you're coming out of C Loop, if you make a right there, there's 2 little pull-through dump stations on the other side here, and then it brings you around by the store again. Yep, you can get bikes, and if you're camping here, it's free rental. You just have to sign them out. Maybe give them your ID. They have the campground lending library, ice, the firewood shed, which reminds me I need to pick up some firewood. And Cherry wants some chicken soup. Hopefully the store has chicken soup for less than 10 bucks a can. Okay, Delaware State Parks. You need a mask to go in any of their facilities, any government or state-owned facilities. And I know that. I just, you know, most other places don't require them here in Maryland and Delaware, so I don't usually carry one on me. Yeah, I left it at the camper. Okay, got my mask. Oh, there's a question of the day. You ain't drinking yet? Oh, it's after 1 p.m. I guess it'd be alright. Well, that's good. They do have laundry facilities. I don't think I ever paid attention to that. Yep. Cabins, yurts, island sites. Quiet hours are pretty standard. They do allow dogs here. Got to be leashed at all times. I think I've only ever seen one dog not leashed. And I don't know. People always think they're immune to the rules, or the exception to the rules. Anyway, that's about it, guys. Trap Pond State Park. If you ever get to the East Coast in the Mid-Atlantic region, check them out. Reservations are pretty easy if you go to DelawareStateParks.org or com. I can't remember, but if you just Google search Delaware State Parks, you know, you can pull up different tabs on the site. You know, camping, day activities, different permits and passes for different things around the state. Somebody doesn't like me. I didn't do it. There's a black lab up here too. That, I don't know if it's the hat and the beard, just the beard. So yeah, if you're traveling up and down the East Coast, this is definitely a place I would recommend stopping. For 1 night, 2 nights, sometimes you get lucky. You can pull in and get a site without reserving ahead. If the office is closed, maybe you pop on the website if it's available. I don't know. I've never tried to do last minute that much. Closest I've done so far is for this weekend. I reserved, I think it was Tuesday night for Friday night, and there was tons available. I mean, there's a lot of empty sites here, so yep, if you get a chance, check it out. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out and taking a little tour around Trap Pond Campground with me. I didn't do the whole state park. Maybe one of these days I'll do that. Maybe one day this winter. And hopefully Cherry will feel better for the next video. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video and you haven't already, do me a favor, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, that would help us tremendously, and click that little bell icon so you don't miss the next time we go camping or do a project on the old girl. See ya.